Hello.
Hi.
I'm good. Tired.
Oh, really?
I only got 4 hours sleep. No. I'm normally 6 hours and I'm fine. But it's been, I was in LA and I'm selling other stuff right now and writing a lot. I'm writing a horror movie, I'm writing 2 sci-fi projects, 1 cop show, 1 very high-end Sundance Film Festival type project, so I'm like spread too thin right now.
Are one of those projects one of the things that Joe's been talking about, a revival of a classic sci-fi series, and he also talked a little in his blog about a military sci-fi series.
No, Joe's doing something separate. I want this show in season 4 to be extremely sci-fi fair, like more so than ever before, because I think fans need a true sci-fi show, and we're the one that has that. We're in that world right now, but with aliens, androids, and all those elements, we can do that even more. Right? I mean, how many shows are on the air right now that have spaceships and aliens? I don't think there are any, really. Where have you seen aliens lately?
I'm sorry.
Where have you seen aliens lately?
Well, I was going to say, right now, the new shows that are coming out, there's 2 new shows coming out that will have aliens and spaceships.
I guess Killjoys would be the closest
Killjoys,
thing,
yeah.
spaceships and aliens as well.
Yeah, they do.
And well, Colony, they've been very coy with their aliens, they haven't shown them.
You have seen them, actually.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. Never mind.
that's true.
We're off topic. Off topic.
Right.
Okay, so what can you tease about the upcoming season? How about that?
This season?
This season. Yeah.
You can tell Rio's a little over his head, right? You can sort of see that is happening, right? You can see that the android is having a major conflict with her human side, choosing the upgrade not, because she believes quite confidently that her job is to be objective, make the right decisions based on programming. And she's got a conflict with the upgrade. I think you might have noticed it already. And that we're going to expand on. You're going to learn that it's more than just the upgrade that's giving her that conflict. Because we've given you some hints that 2 and the android have a backstory. So I think we give you a little hint, right? There's a little hint. So we're going to explore that more. So you're going to learn more about the android's backstory, which I don't think anybody will expect to learn anything about the android, because the android's an android, right?
Right, but the android got wiped the same time as the crew, so why wouldn't we learn more about the android? Right.
And I think people have been waiting for that, because the android has become a fan favorite more than I think we anticipated when we started. And I give a lot of that credit to Zoe, because Zoe was on my show Lost Girl, and when the android was going to be a man originally, and somebody called me and said, did Zoe want to play the android? And I went, no! So I was all excited about it. So I said, great, android's a woman. So that, because of her acting ability, we've been able to explore that.
You spoke about, I'm sorry, you spoke about Rio and how he was in over his head, and I have to say, what I found surprising to me is that I love Thor. Thor was like one of my favorite characters of the show. I really am not a fan of Rio.
But that's sort of on purpose.
Okay, so
right.
So I just know that everybody I know is talking about, can we just wipe him again? Like, is that?
There's that. You know what? There are 4 or 5 options to the character, and I think the reason, I think it's you tell me, is it obvious that he's over his head right now?
Yes, that he's over his head, but it feels like everyone said before he lost his memories, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Then he assumed he was a villain. And then he got his memories back, and his memories should be that of a good guy, but he's a terrible person now, so I don't understand that.
But do you see what he's trying to do?
He's trying to protect his
His motivation here is a good one. He believes that what he is doing is what he has to do to save his dynasty. What do we call it?
Empire.
Yeah. And, I've dealt with this in a number of things I've done in my career. Bad guys often feel they're doing the right thing, all right? Everything that Alex and I talked about it after 2 episodes, because he called me one day and he said, I'm really bad, aren't I? Because when he started reading the scripts. And I said, no, you're not. And he said, what do you mean? I'm bad. I said, no, you're not. You believe you're doing the right thing. I do. And I said, and I need to see that in every performance. And he went, thank you, I love that. So he's been putting that into the character on his own, without the script, right? So you can see that when he makes, there's a little thing you'll notice if you watch his performance. There's little tiny regrets sometimes after he embarks an order, which is something that he and I discussed him doing in his performance. Because I want everyone to know that he's trying. He might not succeed, right? But he's trying to be a ruler. Is he trying to be his dad? You saw the flashbacks how cool his father was, right? That was his mentor. That was the person he's trying to emulate, right? Can he do it? Can he be the tough, mean shit his father was, right? So that's his dilemma, right? So you're going to like him more, I hope, right? When you realize he's human and he makes mistakes.
Now that you've got the alternate universe members on there and you're having to film, the actors having to film 2 parts, does this make it more difficult to film the show?
Oh yeah. It's actually, we have 2 units going at the same time often, so that we can have the actor that's playing the other person mindset, because it would be very hard to shoot a scene and then 2 hours later shoot a scene of somebody else. So we have to separate it so they can actually do the work, right? But they love the challenge. They love the fact that we're doing this, you know. And a simple thing like when 2 played the 2 different people, I had them give her a different coat, right? A different leather jacket. And if you remember that scene where she first met the alternate, she kept the jacket, right? I added that to the script at the end because I wanted you to be able to see that even though they're different personalities, there's a certain element that's like they may be jealous of each other or like each other to some extent, right? And I think Anthony was telling you that Boone and 3 are pretty similar. That's going to deviate, right? Because everybody has to. They're the old guys, you know. They're alternate people from the other dimension, whatever. They're who they were if they didn't have their minds right? So I want you to learn over time that they're better now. They're better people now because of that. Fair? Yeah, listen, that's what attracted me to this project day one. When I bought the comic book, I didn't even know Joe and Paul, right? I just bought the comic book because I thought it was cool that this nature versus nurture, like, if we could all just wipe all our mistakes. There's a scene in a Star Trek movie that I loved, and everybody laughs when I tell them this. And it's a one where they go to Shangri-La, and the other side, or whatever they call that. It's a Star Trek movie a lot of people don't like, right? But The Undiscovered Country, I think it was called. Yeah, it's where they go through the Great Barrier Reef to find God.
That's 5.
Yeah, that's 5? Yeah. There's a scene there where the guy gets everybody to follow him by removing their pain.
Right.
And he does it to Dr. McCoy. He's doing it to everybody. And he goes to Kirk and says, "Let me relieve you of your pain." And Kirk says, "No, I want my pain. My pain defines me. My pain makes me who I am. Who am I without my pain?" And so I like, who are you without screwing up? And who are you without making mistakes? But it would be interesting if I could wipe every mistake you've ever made, what you would be. So I love that idea back then. So when I read about it in this comic book, I thought, this is cool.
I've actually seen Paul's episode, which is just really fantastic, and the Sarah storyline, and she actually becomes almost like a new crew member. She works with 5. Can you tease what's coming with that? Is that kind of where we're going?
Yeah, well, what happened was that was actually not planned. I think I've told a few people in interviews. She was supposed to die. When her pod died and the power failure, there was a scene where she was spaced, and everyone said goodbye. And I cut it out because I like the actress. Just because I like the actress, you know.
She is great.
And Natalie was in my other show, and we killed her. And I said, shit, you know, should have kept her alive. She's a great actress. She's really quite good. So I like Natalie Brown. And I said to the guys, I want to bring her back. Let's find a way. Right? And so when they uploaded her, you know, I said great, but now we're going to have another problem coming up, is can you live inside, that's my hint, can you live inside a computer? What would life be if there's no reality to it whatsoever? You can't touch somebody, you can't, I mean, it's a matrix sort of symbolic element to it, right? Can you live in the Matrix? Can you experience love and, you know, emotions and the physical touch? The difference between the Matrix and Sarah's story is she's all alone. And she's just sitting there, waiting for somebody to come visit her. And all she can do is play with her environment. So is that a life? Do you want, if I told you, you'll be alone, period. Just waiting by yourself, is that life? So we're going to deal with that with Sarah.
So you introduced 2 new characters this season, and at first my reaction was, okay, we traded 6 for these 2 guys. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but they did grow on me, and I really...
Which 2 did you like? Because we introduced a few minor ones.
Adrian and
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, right.
For the crew, part of the crew.
Yeah, you liked Adrian.
Eventually. I did not like him at first.
Okay.
But by the time they kicked him off the ship, I was like, no, don't go. I like you. And I like, what's her name?
Solara.
I liked her from day one.
Yeah. No, Solara, what happened, Solara was only going to be a little bit, but we liked it.
Yeah,
so we are working with keeping her around. Because she was good. She was actually quite fun as a person, right? When we cast her, she had the best attitude for the show, right? And she was actually nervous, right? And excited about it. So that was
I could tell she was going to be around because of her coat. I saw her walk through her. I was like, that's a crew coat. She's going to stay. Like, seriously, that's
she wants to. I mean, we're going to see her go and come, let's say. You know, like, because we don't want you to just accept new crew members. And to be honest, I have to see how everybody reacts. There's a business decision to this, too. Right? So we're looking. So any communication of who you liked and didn't like. Because let's just say there are a few characters that surprisingly had big fan bases I didn't expect. Right?
Example?
Well, what's his name? I think is it Ennis? Who's the bad guy with?
Wexler.
What? Wexler.
He's great.
Everybody loves him. I keep forgetting his name from the show because I know the actor, right? I do that all the time. Like Natalie and Sarah, I mix those 2 up all the time. But Wexler, with the toothpick and being a bit of a shit. He's a great actor. And people really like his sarcastic attitude. He's a lot like 3. He's a lot like 3 in a lot of ways. So we're going to experiment with whether he can be a good guy.
Right, the Spice Girls. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay.